Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the types of counseling approaches. So let's start. So types of counseling approaches, we have three categories. One is directive, non-directive and elective counseling approaches. So it has three types: directive, non-directive and electric approaches. Now we'll learn one by one what is directive, what do you mean by non-directive and what do you mean by electric. So the first type is directive counseling approach. It is also known as prescriptive counseling or counselor center approach of counseling. So mainly we have to focus on this counselor center approaches of counseling. What do you mean by this? Means where counselor is going to observe the patient, he is going to collect all the information, he is going to plan for it, and he is going to give the direction or solution for the problem to counseling. So here in this part, counselor is more active than counseling. That's why it is called as counselor center. So here counselor can take decision for the counseling. So this is the first one, directive counseling approach. So in the directive counseling, what are the main thing we are going to focus? Like it is a need based approach. So based on the needs, we are going to plan for it. And problem used for focus patient rather than incapable then of solving patient their focus problem approach. Task of a component counselor intellectual and making the best possible use abilities of resources. So it means here counselor is going to give more focus on problem solving. He will be play an active role in this. Next, we are going to see the steps that is involved in the directive counseling. So, according to E.J. Wilson, has given the 6 steps of directive counseling. The first one is information gathering. So, information gathering means in these steps you are going to collect all the information about your patient or counselee. So after collecting everything, we are going to synthesize the information. It means we are going to relate it. We are going to see the like components and combination of each other. Next, we are going to the diagnosis steps. Mean what is the problem? Actually, what the problem the client is facing. Next, we are going to see the prognosis. Prognosis means like what is the possible outcome. So if you are going for the treating this patient, what how much chance is there, like how much percentage of there, like it, the patient can be okay or not, like 50% chance is there that patient can be okay or 80% chance. It means the likely course of its medical condition and a forecast of the likely outcome of a situation, that is prognosis. Next is counseling. Now you have information, you have collected, you have analyzed it, and you have diagnosed the problem also. Then you know the outcome also. If you give treatment, what will be the outcome. Next we are going to give the counseling. So this is the counseling step. So based on the problem, we will plan for counseling. After giving the counseling, we will ask the patient for the follow up. So these are the 6 steps in directive approach: information gathering, synthesis, diagnosis, prognosis, counseling and follow up. Next we have non-directive counseling approach. So it is opposite to the directive. How? In the directive we have seen that counselor will play a active role, but in case of non-directive, the counselee will play an active role. Okay, here counselor will be passive role and counselee will be active role. What is the function of counselor is here? He is going to help him or guide him from the backside. He will tell all the solution, but he will not take the final decision. The final decision will be taken by the client itself. That's why it is called as non-directive counseling approach. Next, the steps of the non-directive counseling approach. Karp R. Roger given 5 steps in non-directive counseling. The first one is defining the problem situation. The first steps for everything, first we have to define the problem. Then counselee given freedom to express his feelings. It means we'll give the counselee a freedom so they can express or they can share their feelings or emotion. Next, identify the counseling feelings. So where the counselee is sharing the emotion or the feelings, during that time we have to identify the problem or the feelings of the counselee, and you have to develop the counseling insight. Insight means the capacity to gain an accurate and deep understanding. So like we should understand the how the counselor is thinking, what is going on inside his mind. After that we have to ask the patient to take their own decision based on that your problem, because you are helping them, you are guiding them, and you have to terminate the counseling session. So these are the 5 steps of non-directive counseling approach. Our next approach is elective counseling approach. So what do you mean by elective? So it is a combination of both, combination of directive plus non-directive. How? Here the counseling session will be done cooperation of the counselor and the counselee. The both will discuss and they will find out the solution. Here no one will play like active or passive role. Both the person will be active in this category. So it is called as elective counseling approach. So like based on the individual you have to plan, either you go for directive or you are going to non-directive or you are going to for elective, because first itself we have studied individual have a difference, every individual is different personality. So based on that you have to plan for it which approach you are going to apply for your client. Now we are going to see the steps of elective counseling approach. For that, first point is establishing a rapport, because it is going to like two-way communication, both the person is going to involve in the plan. So before that we should like know each other. So the counselor and the counselor, they should know each other, they should have a good relationship. Then diagnose the problem, then analyze the case. After diagnosis they have to analyze it, then prepare the plan, like for this problem what are the plan we have, what are the solution we have. So based on that we can go for counseling and follow up. So this is the steps for the elective counseling approach. There are other types of counseling that we have, like it is based on the length of the counseling session, like how for how much time you are conducting counseling, short term and long term. By name itself you can identify. Short time is for the shortest duration, like only for 1 month you are giving. Long term is like for 6 months or 1 year you are going to give the counseling session. And again for the based on the number of counseling involved also, like how many person is taking counseling at a time. Based on that also we have some category, that is individual and group. Individual means if only one person is taking counseling session. Group means like as a group, like whole family or whole class at a time if they are taking counseling, that is called as group counseling. Next we have some counseling that is based on the education and profession. Like first one we have seen counseling based on the time. Second one we have seen counseling based on the number of people involved. And the third one is counseling based on the educational and professional purposes. Like first one, student counseling. As you know, if you are going to give the counseling to the student, that is student counseling, like their adjustment, if they are separated from the home sickness, okay, adjusting with the new like classmates, friends. Educational counseling, so like I have told you, like before also you have seen this, like after finishing your 10th SSLC you will be having doubt either to go for arts or science or commerce. Then again after finishing your 12th again you will be having doubt either for the go for the general line or the some professional course. So like this you will have so many doubts. So for that if you go for the counseling session, they'll help you based on your IQ level, based on your capacity, which will be more suitable for you. They'll give you the solution and you can pick from this. Next, vocational counseling, it is related to the job. Career counseling, again after finishing your study, which career you want to choose, because for one after finishing one course you have lots of option, from that which one will be good for you. For that also you can take counseling. Placement counseling, like it is selection. Placement means selection, giving the job. For that also there is a counseling process that is called as placement counseling. Next, based on the health related problem also we have some counseling, like psychotherapeutic counseling, crisis counseling, health counseling, and genetic counseling. again for the based on the personal and social purposes. We have personal counseling, marriage counseling, motivational counseling, developmental counseling. There are different types of counseling based on the problem, and you can say the different name. So here I have mentioned only few that is very common nowadays we can see. So with this we have finished the approaches and different like other types of counseling that will be mainly in the educational field, in the nursing field I can see. Thank you everyone, and remaining part will I will be discussing in the next video.